Yo, we talking about groceries on FBA. Yo, easy. Yeah. J to the O, the Mayos. Groceries on FBA. What you know about that? Step your game up, suck it.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Monday Masterminds meeting. You're all alone. Valerie had to go pick some people up at the airport. So the first question I see was from Ted. There's quite a bit I want to cover, so we're just going to shoot any questions you have right into the chat. But Ted wanted to know about mismatches on tactical arbitrage and what the best approach is. So if you're using tactical arbitrage, everybody should be using tactical arbitrage. If you haven't tried it out, I would definitely recommend you do that. They're going to be closing. You hear spraying. Okay, I'm not sure where that goes. So if you're not using tactical arbitrage, I'll put the link in there. And if you sign up with my link, we can, let me know, send me some proof. I'll get you some free stuff. There's an affiliate link. Alex is a good friend of mine. He has built like one of the best tools that I think right now for doing arbitrage, even retail or online arbitrage. There's tools in there that we use to build lists of things to find in stores as well as online. You can find things that are out of stock, not find anything that's out of stock, however your sourcing works at the time. So a big issue for a lot of people right now is, mismatches. And with OAX-Ray or any of these tools, mismatches are going to be the thing that comes to the top. I get them, everybody gets them. And there's a few ways to be able to avoid that. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'll show you some of the mismatches that are up there. And one of the things before we get started, if you haven't at least tried out tactical arbitrage, I would suggest you do it like right now, because, or within the next couple of days, because, he's really a good guy. He doesn't want, the sites to get overrun. You don't want, the items to become worthless. There's already over 230 different sites that are supported. So, having a lot of users, doesn't necessarily mean that, if everybody was sourcing at Walmart, it had 500 users, then it would be a problem. But when you have 230 sites that are supported, everybody's looking at different things on different sites, and it really, doesn't really water anything down. And he wants to keep it that way. So he has a ratio in his head that he hasn't told me about. I don't think he's told anybody what it is, but he wants to keep a certain ratio of users to sites. So sometime at the end of the week, maybe Friday or later in the week, he's going to be shutting down new user registration. So what that's going to mean is that nobody else will be able to sign up. So you get a 7-day, you use my link, you get a 7-day free a free trial. It is $99 a month, but it does do Amazon flips. It does. It has the store sourcing, and it has a lot of options. So we've created a whole course and videos, and I'm not going to go through all that. I am going to cover the questions people have about it. But, it's a great sourcing tool. So if you haven't tried it out, go try it out. Before your 7 days are up, you can cancel it. You can sign up and immediately cancel. And when your 7 days are up, your, subscription will end. But, it's a great tool. And if you don't do it now, you may not be able to do it later, depending on how long it takes them to hit that next level. So they're at about 230 now. They're going to shut it down until they hit about 350 sites. So that could take a while. During doing the first 100 or first 200 was probably easy. But as you can imagine, if there's 230 viable sites for sourcing for Amazon, getting to that next step, another 120 sites may not be so easy. I'm sure you can't think of 230 sites to source on right now. So, that becomes an issue. Every site you add, it gets harder and harder to find more sites. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'll show you a couple things on tactical arbitrage about how we deal with bad matches. And bad matches are bad. Making them good is not going to make a good item. So here we are on the main search. If you haven't used tactical arbitrage, you probably won't understand what all this is. But if you log into the Mastermind site, you have complete access. You'll have complete access to our course. Of course, you have access to everything that we do, but it's under Mastermind Basic. I don't have the Mastermind site loaded right now, but if you go up to Mastermind Basic and courses, there's a whole tactical arbitrage course on using it. If you haven't used it, check it out. If you have used it, I'm sure you'll find some things that you can learn in there. We're learning things every day, and we're adding new videos almost every day. But when you go to this first site, there's this, once you select a site, you won't see the stuff to the right-hand side anymore. You'll see your specific categories. And as you can see, there's quite a few sites here in blue. These are sites that we've actually programmed ourselves, and we can program for you guys for a fee. If you have a site that you'd like to use tactical arbitrage with, I do have a programmer that works for me that can do most sites. Some sites just aren't compatible with the software that they use. So when you see, so if there's a specific site that you want on here that only you would have access to, it wouldn't be added into tactical arbitrage, but it would be a site that only you have access to, or anybody else that programs that site would have access to. Contact me privately, and we'll check it out and see if it's something we can do. And if we can program that for you for a price. Of course, my programmers are not free or cheap. But if you look at all of these sites, all the ones in black, these are everything that's supported. And you can see the type of search right next to it. So you, of course, want ones that have a UPC or an EAN search. That's going to be the most exact search. So if it doesn't have UPC on that site, like Cole Haan, of course, I believe it's mostly clothing, so they don't really have UPCs. But Champ Sport does have UPC searches. So when it's comparing to Amazon, at the source, it's going to have a UPC, and it can punch that right into Amazon and get UPC results. And then, of course, you'll see an example and how many products per page are supported for that site. So if we go back here, there's this button. So when you first get here, you can look at this, click on this, and it's going to take you to a Google Drive spreadsheet. And in here, it's going to show you the matching for every site they support, almost. As you can see, it looks like somebody just added this aerosols in here, and they're filling in the information right now. But what it will do is tell you what kind of matching it is. If it's UPC matching, these are the ones that are going to be the best match. Of course, as we know, when we scan something with a UPC on Amazon, or in our Scan Power or whatever scanning app, you may get three different ASINs or 10 different ASINs. So if people use the wrong UPC when they're listing the items, of course, it's going to match to all those items, and it's not going to look very good. So this is where you want to look before you start searching sites, because you want the ones that do UPC matching. And these are the things that we're starting to create lists for, the ones that have UPC matching. Because the title ones just, you're going to get more mismatches, obviously, because it's just going to Amazon and searching for that same title that is on the source. So, UPC is, of course, first, and then title is going to show They're going to show you what quality of a match it is. So very good, average, as you can see here. To be announced. Some just are blank because they don't, I guess, quite know yet. And these are all the sites that are currently supported. So if we go, I'm going to go ahead and close this. And if we go back to tactical arbitrage, if I can click on this, an imaginary box you guys can't see. Here are some of our most recent matches. So let me change this to 100. So Anthropology is a site that we're working on building support for our own use. As you can see, we have not quite brought the images in yet to bring the image thumbnails in. So this is a private site. This isn't one that that they have done. With the Container Store, they do not do UPC matching. This is another private one that we created ourselves. So it's doing title matching. So as you can see, a lot of these don't work. They're not exactly the same. Some are. There's a pair of underwear. This is a mesh pouch. Who knows how they could have matched that up. Obviously, it's not a product that that matches. It's not the same thing. It's not going to be the same thing. So you're always going to find bad matches. And what happens with a bad match is they're always going to come to the top because it's not the same. You're buying something for $3.99 and it's selling it for $11.49, but it's not the same product. So, it's not really a match. It's, it's mistakes, and mistakes in any platform are always going to rise to the top. So, don't look at how to deal with these mistakes. I look at this, I see, oh, this doesn't match. I click X and it's gone. Okay. And I move on to the next thing, and it's that simple. Don't worry about the matches. Now, if it's something that you think maybe something that could match or should match, it's the wrong color or wrong variation, or, hey, I see this and I know this product should be here. One's a mesh pouch, one's, a microfiber towel. You're going in to start searching. So you can do another search, and this is going to take you right to Amazon to search for it. Or you can have it look for something else by clicking this arrow. It'll find, something else that may match. But, again, it's, pulling the wrong things. Or you can just edit the ASIN. If you want to go to Amazon and find the right product that will match this product, then once you find that, you can enter the ASIN in here and save it, and and move on to the next thing if you think that product is actually on Amazon, or just remove it, move on to the next thing. You're finding so many products here, you can just, forget about the bad ones and move on. They do have games and things, but when you're looking at something, oh, this has 386% ROI, but it doesn't because this isn't the product, so, don't get blinded by great ROI. They pulled this in here because this match was a good ROI, but it's not a match. So, it doesn't matter. So get rid of it, move on, either decide to fix it or decide not to fix it and move on to the next thing. They do have a game where you fix so many listings, and you get discounts and other things happen. Okay. You get discounts and promos, and they do different things every month, for fixing listings. And they're going to put all the bad listings that they find in one place in the future. Of course, private sites that you create yourself don't count towards that. But that's my take on mismatches. They're wrong products. Forget about them. Concentrate on the good products. OA X-Ray and all the rest of them have bad products, and you're never going to completely get rid of them because, that's just the nature of the program. That, bad matches are always going to come to the top because they're not real matches. When it's, products at $3 and selling for $80, of course that's going to come up. But when you find the real product, it's not going to be selling for $16. This black mesh pouch, could be selling for $5, or not even be there, and you wasted, 15 minutes of time looking at it. So, I hope that, that answers those questions. What I really wanted to talk about today, and if you have more questions about tactical arbitrage, I'll be happy to address them or help you with them, whatever you guys need. What I wanted to talk to you tonight about is your mileage tracking. If you're doing online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, we did do a video when we first started the Mastermind sometime in the middle of last year about Mile IQ, but I wanted to touch back on this, and this is a very, very important tool. I mean, it makes us not pay any taxes almost every year, mileage reimbursement. So, the first thing you have to think about is if you own, if your business owns a vehicle or if you own a vehicle. So we own all of our own vehicles because you get 54 cents per mile reimbursement for work, and that's all we do is drive around in these vehicles. So the business and our taxes reimburse us at 54 cents a mile, and we drive thousands of miles, and we use this tool, Mile IQ. I think it's $5.99 a month. It's an app for Android, for iOS. And what it does is it tracks all your mileage in the background on your phone. So wherever you go, it tracks all of those. It tracks all of those things for you. And you're going to okay. And I'll show you how it all works. But basically, what's going to happen is every time you take a trip, it's going to log where you went from, where you went to, and then like that dating app, you just swipe left or right to decide if it's personal or business. So obviously I already have an account. I do have a referral code. So I guess I get a discount. I've never really even used it. So, but I'm going to paste it in here if anybody wants to sign up with my referral code. You can pass that on to other people as well once you sign up. The first thing I'm going to do is show you, this is some of our recent drives from this year for one of the phones. So what we do is, each person that does this, we have a separate log. So now you can log multiple vehicles, but it's the easiest way for our own business. But you can set up multiple vehicles, and we have. I just don't use them, and I haven't logged these for some time to show you our. So I'll show you how all of this works. But this is what it's going to look like in a spreadsheet. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the phone as well. But basically, if you see the highlighted in black, those are locations I've edited. So as you can see here, it says Causeway Walmart to Allendale. Okay, now I know this is my bank, but if you don't know, when you click on it, see it's currently unclassified. So what we have is I basically select everything under errand and supplies, but you can add more sites. And I do actually have 3 accounts, and for the different vehicles that we use. But of course, you could set these all up on one if you're going to use multiple vehicles, or you and your wife. But it's easier for me to track my employee stuff by keeping them all separate. So that's how we've done it. You don't need to do it that way. On some of the other ones, I have one for sourcing. You can add them whatever you want. This one, we just use the defaults. So I use the one for supplies for all my sourcing. So you can select that, and then you can select which. This don't make sense because the vehicle should be in here. just going to reload this. So I'll come back to that. Well, it's okay. Here we go. Okay. So I don't know why I wasn't showing the vehicles, but I reloaded and they're there now. I was in my minivan that we usually use for sourcing. The big truck can cause, it takes a lot more gas. And then, as you can see now, everything's loaded in here. I don't know what's going on, but the purpose is sourcing. Actually, this was a business meeting. I actually went to my bank here. So as you can see, it says Allendale because that's the little side street that it's on. So it shows you the closest area. So the ones that are highlighted is something I've edited. So you can go and edit. So I added this at some point in the past to say Causeway Walmart because that's the road that the Walmart is on. And now this one, I can edit to say whatever I want. So this was my bank, TD Bank, Brandon. So I know which one when I'm looking at it later. And then save location name. So now anytime it does one of these, you'll see this one says Walmart to Allendale, and this one says Allendale to Causeway Walmart. So now, if we reload this page, I don't know if it'll see those same location. We did do some driving around there. So this is TD Bank Brandon. So now you can edit this information. So anything you see highlighted is locations that we have gone to before. So you can see I made one in caps and one lowercase. So you see the third one, this is taken and added it into there automatically. So it's updated everything. So the next one, home. So at some point in the past, I've changed the location to my home address, and it's going to Tampa. And the same thing was here, Tampa to Target. Now I know that I went sourcing today at, actually this is, I got gas here. So I got off the highway here to get gas. So I can just change that to Tampa gas station, or I can leave that, blank. So now you can see that it updated Target to Tampa gas station to home. We can just update this now to say sourcing, and it's going to put that mileage under business mileage. So home to school. I took my daughter to school this morning at 8:14 a.m. So obviously this isn't work. This is going to be personal. And you can always select the top thing, personal or business, or categorize it. Usually I just put them all as personal because we're not going to use those for anything. And it's going to show you what the value is. Oh, it keeps popping up. So obviously this was still for business, sourcing. This was sourcing. This is where I went to a liquidation warehouse in Lakeland to look at some product today. See, you can auto classify them now. This is a brand new feature since the last time I logged in to do this. And you can also do this from the phone. So when you're not doing anything, you can select which ones of these that you want for that. Yeah, see, Uber driver, and I love it. Bill said 2016 to date is $8,000 in deductions. Can you add trips until now? I don't think you can add them into the tool, but that wouldn't really make sense. At the end of the month and at the end of the year, it emails you a spreadsheet once a month, and then for the whole year, it'll email you one. So you can just fill in that information into the spreadsheets. I don't think that there's things to show you as far as doing that. And see, this is just today. These are all the drives I did today. You know, we do quite a bit of sourcing. As you can see, this money adds up very quick. And let's see, what are we? See, I'm looking only at the last week, August 2nd through August 8th. You know, if we go, if we pull it out to monthly, from February with this vehicle, or with this phone, I should say, I've done 10,000 miles. So that's about $5,000. I've got 3 vehicles that we use, and then we get, you know, reimbursed for all of that. Of course, you know, we're not, all of that's not business, but almost all of it is. You know, and even if you do online arbitrage, or, you know, of course with retail arbitrage, and we can just look at unclassified. It's going to show you, you know, with online arbitrage, you still have work things to do. You're still going places, you're meeting people, you go to the bank for your business, you go to buy supplies for your business. All of that should be logged. Let's see if I... Okay, so it just emails it to yourself, and we'll look at one of those in a moment. So I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to show you how to set up the custom information. So you can see the ones that are grayed out. Those are the defaults. I really don't do anything for the personal. And most of these will fit under for your business things. Meal, entertainment, errands, supplies, meetings, you know, visiting customers, you know, which I actually do meet with a lot of our clients to help people, and travel all over the state to help people, and between offices. So I have a home office and I have a warehouse. So I do travel between those. I can deduct that based on, you know, what our CPA has said. Maybe your CPA might have some different ideas. And of course, you can go down here and add as many as you want. The vehicles, we've entered our vehicles. We don't log the odometer information. You can enter your custom rates, do it in miles or kilometers. The IRS is paying 54 cents, so that's how we log it, and that's where that price comes in that you see on the other screen. Auto classification, we don't have this turned on because this would say, and of course, like Bill, if you're an Uber driver or you have a set time that you drive, if you have a job where you're visiting clients, you know, from 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 or whatever it is, you can turn this on to auto classify that for that purpose. But of course, you know, we're sourcing at 10 o'clock at night sometimes. We're doing, you know, all kinds of crazy things at all times. So I don't want auto classification on, but this is something that you could do. This is going to also classify you based on frequent drives. Like I go to the local Walmart, you know, every couple days for working, and I go to the bank, and it's going to see those. Once you classify it a few times as work, it's going to automatically do that. And of course, you can change that. You can change the setting, of course, and then this is to get a weekly summary, a monthly summary, and if you want to get all the other emails, you also get that yearly one at the end of the year. I don't think you can turn that off. And of course, it is running in the background in your app, and I'm going to show you how the app works, because that's usually how we do this. My wife usually does it, or my office manager that usually know what is what. So if you just bear with me a moment, ask any questions you may have in there. I'm going to set up the mirroring. Just takes a minute to turn it on. And I'll show you what it looks like on the phone end. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the sharing, and we're going to share again. And you should be seeing my phone now. So that is what we were just looking at. So I guess that's just looking at this month so far, 611 miles driven. So the way it works is, as you can see, I have no pointer, but if you see the arrows that say personal or business at the top, there's one that looks like a house, and there's one that looks like, a briefcase, which that would be business. So all you have to do is swipe left or right. If you can see, you can swipe it. So this was for business. We went to Walgreens sourcing from the bank, and you swipe it that way. And now it's been classified as work. So again, this was Walmart to the bank. That's business, and that's all you have to do. You don't have to go in and set anything. You already have the locations, so later on you're going to know where it is. Again, that's work, work. That was for work. That was personal. And as you can see, this, we went to the mall, and this was not for work. So we're going, okay, so, and again, it's very easy to change the location. So we changed that to Brandon Mall. And then you can click on this. It's going to show you on the map where you went. That's my house. I'm not sure what this was. Okay, I think, yeah, I took my father to lunch at Carrabba's. Oops. I think I misspelled that, but that's all right. So these are going to be and so you see how easy it is. It's logging your money that you have earned, and this is just in the last couple of days. So if you're not doing this, you're probably costing yourself a whole lot of money. So I'm just going to see if we can bring up the reports. I can show that to you guys. Okay, great. So I'm going to end this share, and we'll go back over to the, I'll do the desktop share on this one. So as you can see here, this is what you'll see for your monthly report. This is the sourcing report. This is in a PDF. So it's going to tell you what it's for, business, and then what the classification is, the date and time, location where you went from, where you went to, the distance, the value, any parking tolls, which you can edit all of this into there, the business rate. And I promise you this is going to be 100 times better than anything you see that the IRS sees from you. So if we go back over, okay. So now this is the CSV file that they provide you. So those for the months I had them put in. Not that far. So this will be the start date and end time. Most of it is unclassified because we haven't done it yet. Again, where it started, where it stopped, the amount of miles, and all the other pertinent information that you need to do this. Now, once you actually log and classify the stuff, you'll see this. This is actually a log of everything, business and personal. So as Cairo was asking me, if you can add up mileage until now, if you want to use this to log it, you can just add and append the information to the beginning of this, and just follow the same format, enter the miles and where you went from and to and your classifications. Obviously, there's no way to, log stuff in reverse, that if it wasn't logging the information, there's no way to get that off of your phone because your phone's not going to be recording that information. But if you know where you've been going from and to, that's always, that's always great for logging this information. You should always log every business drive. So now, if your business owns your vehicle, you don't get reimbursed, obviously, because the business already owns it. That's why I think it's better to have it personally. If you're paying a car payment, the business is going to pay for the car payment, and it's going to pay for the gas, and it's going to pay for the they'll pay for your car payment, pay for your gas, pay for your upkeep. But usually, 54 cents a mile is going to more than cover that. You're going to come out way ahead by reimbursing yourself for it. So yeah, is there any questions on all of that? I would think there would be, but maybe I covered everything. This is really the easy. There are other apps that do this, and it's available on iOS and Android. But I think this is really the easiest tool to do this. Really, all you have to do is swipe left or right, and you can get results at the end of the month or end of the year that you give to your CPA, and that's all you have to do. Of course, answering. Of course, changing, the locations that you frequently go to is going to make things a lot easier because you're just going to be able to look at it, look at the title, and know that you went there. But you don't have to add all of that information. Well, your options are either you own the vehicle or your business owns the vehicle. So if the business owns the vehicle, of course, you're not going to get reimbursed for mileage or gas. The business would just be paying for, the gas and mileage. So obviously you can't pay for, okay, so this was a private question to me, asking if using the mileage or using your car payment and gas as far as the IRS is concerned. So, it's It's pretty much common sense. If the business owns a vehicle, of course, you can't pay yourself. You can't reimburse yourself for you driving a business vehicle. So, the business is going to pay for the gas. It's going to pay for the mileage. But they still kind of want you to log what you're doing. You can't just log or buy, $10,000 in gas in a year and have the IRS not question you. So you do have to, my CPA, which has a PhD in accounting and is a CPA, and he owns the whole firm, that does my taxes, says that they want, a log of mileage no matter what. So even if the business owns it, they want you to log it. But you're not going to get reimbursed if it's a business vehicle, because the business is already paying it. So, you can't double dip on that payment. Now, if you're doing online arbitrage, and you have a $500 car payment or a $400 car payment, and you're not driving around a lot, then it may be in your best interest to have the business own it, if you're not going to get reimbursed. But if you drive 100 miles, I drive 100 miles at least a day. So, sometimes I'm driving, 300 miles, 400 miles, going from store to store can really add up times multiple cars. But that's kind of the kind of business that we run. And, sometimes we're making multiple trips. And, if I'm sourcing on one side of town, my warehouse is on the other side of town, I may have to do multiple trips or have multiple vehicles come to, one location. So it does really, really add up. But you figure every 100 miles, it's $54. And it doesn't take long to add that up into a car payment. So I wouldn't think that, most people just have a regular car. You're probably only paying, I don't know what I buy every vehicle for cash, but, I think $200-300 a month, is what a car payment is if you're not driving a Mercedes. That's 600 miles a month. So it's not very hard to get to that. So, if it's that's 555 miles, and if you divide that by 30 days, that means if you drive 18 miles a day, you're going to get reimbursed for your for a $300 car payment. You're going to make that back just in mileage reimbursement, driving only 18.5 miles a day. So, it's not, a whole lot of driving to make that money back in reimbursements, and the more expenses that and you're not really paying this to yourself, it's going to be taxes that you save. These are off of your income tax. And as your business grows, it's not hard to, I would rather be paying that to myself or not paying it to the IRS, because those are huge deductions. And that's, a big portion of, how we don't pay sales tax. A couple of years ago, I got a $2,400 tax refund. And we sold, I think it was one of our first years selling on Amazon, but, we sold $160,000 in sales on Amazon, and we paid zero income tax, and we got a $2,400, refund, based on being a small business, had a household, and, of course, our mileage. So this isn't, this is a huge part of your taxes and your tax deduction. So a lot of people overlook this and blow this off. And, this is the one thing that you should really be taking advantage of, because your competitors are definitely taking advantage of it. And, if you have to pay thousands of dollars in taxes quarterly or at the end of the year, that's taking away from money that you could be reinvesting and helping to grow your business. Okay, so if there's no more questions, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. We're almost at 9 o'clock. And if you have any questions, about this or taxes, I mean, I'm not a tax expert. That's what I pay somebody for. But if you have any more questions, just I do know a lot about, using mileage and everything else we need to take advantage of, and follow the laws, because, those rules are out there to help small businesses grow. Big businesses, it doesn't have as much of an effect on, but, a lot of these rules are out there to help small businesses, will help you grow and get the deductions you need to not be paying all of your money, to the government, because that's what they were put in place for, to help you become a bigger business. So, you're not giving all your money to the government. That's for when you become a big corporation, and they know they'll get their money. So any more questions, just shoot them over to me at the arbitrage. Definitely sign up. I'm sure by our next webinar it won't be available anymore. So, definitely give it a try. So we'll see you next week. Thanks a lot.